Hey everyone, it's Dan for Numerical Lion coming to you from a secret, undisclosed location. And with my channel, I reveal the false reality in which we live in using gematria or gematria. And I was looking at this event that happened in the past because it's the 40th anniversary of this event, or a little longer than 40 years, but it's the Who concert disaster. It occurred on December 3rd, 1979, when the British rock band The Who performed at Riverfront Coliseum in Cincinnati, Ohio. A crush of concert goers outside the Coliseum's entry doors resulted in the deaths of 11 people. So The Who were in the midst of the United States leg of their 1979 World Tour, which began in September with a total of 7 dates split between the Capitol Theater in Passaic, New Jersey, and Madison Square Garden in New York City. The band then took some time off and would resume the tour on November 30th at the auditorium of the Detroit Masonic Temple. The Cincinnati concert was the third show played in this portion of the tour after a concert the night before at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. The concert was a sellout with 18,348 tickets sold. The majority of those, 14,770, were unassigned general admission tickets that were first come, first served. A few hours before the show, a sizable crowd had already gathered outside the front of the arena. Around 7,000 people were there by 7 p.m. Entry to the arena was through a series of individual doors all along the front of the arena, as well as a few doors at each side. The crowd focused at each of the doors. The doors were not opened at the scheduled time, causing the crowd to become increasingly agitated and impatient. During this period, the Who undertook a late sound check. Some members of the crowd heard this and mistakenly believed that the concert was already starting. Some people in the back of the crowd began pushing toward the front, but this rush hour dissipated as the crowd realized that no entry doors had been opened and that the concert had not, in fact, begun yet. So the crush. People were originally told through a radio station that GA ticket holders, or general admission ticket holders, would be admitted at 3 p.m., and therefore a sizable crowd formed by 5 p.m. Although all the doors were expected to be opened simultaneously, only a pair of doors at the far right of the main entrance were finally opened. As concert goers entered the stadium through these two open doors, those waiting in front of all the other doors began pushing forward again. After a short period of waiting and then knocking on the doors and the glass next to the doors, the crowd assumed that none of the remaining doors would be opened. Then about 7:15 p.m., the real trouble began. Some say there was a very late sound check, but others say that they played the Who's Quadrophenia movie in lieu of an opening act. Either way, the crowd assumed that the Who were on earlier than scheduled. At that point, the entire crowd surged and pushed toward the two doors which had been opened. This caused many people to get trampled, while others suffered more serious injuries. 11 people were unable to escape the dense crowd pushing toward them and died by asphyxiation. 26 other people reported injuries. So, yeah, tragedy, died of asphyxiation. Let's look at this before we get started with the decode here. Asphyxiation. So this is 163, which is the 38th prime. Murder. 38. Death. 38. Familiar numbers. Killing. 38. So it was a stampede. Also 38 and 83. These murder numbers. Right? It happened in 79. Look at the Who and murder. The Who, 79. Murder, 79. Murder, 34. The Who, 34. 83. 38 and 20. 20 is death. Right? This number we were talking about with connection with 38. So what else? So Pete Townshend was 34 years old at the time of this. I saw something that said that there were 11 dead and 23 injured. Here they say 26. 11 and 23 is 34. Pete Townshend was born on the 139th day of the year, May 19th. It is the 139th day. He was born on May 19th. What's so special about 139? It's the 34th prime, right? Relating to The Who and murder and Pete Townshend being 34 years old, born on the 39th day. Thought that was interesting. Here he is, Peter Dennis Blandford Townshend. He's 74 right now. He's 6 feet tall. How appropriate. Pete Townshend equals 60 in full reduction. Isn't that interesting? Sometimes that works out. I would call that a coincidence, just for fun. He's from Chiswick, London. Chiswick, London, 69. And Pete Townshend, 69 when S is 10. I think the album Quadrophenia is 69 too. Quadrophenia. 60. Just like Pete Townshend, 60. Right? So this was all a ritual for Pete Townshend. I'll get into that. It happened 168 days before his 35th birthday. Right? 168 days. And Pete Townshend in English ordinal equals 168. So it happened on a day with 41 numerology. 12 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 9 is 41. Just his surname Townshend equals 41. What a day for this to happen, right? Also, if you count the span of days, it was 100. If you include the end date, it was 169 days. And 169 happens to be the square root of 169 is 13. See that? So getting back to 13. 41, the 13th prime number as well. 41, the 13th prime number. And they said 26 were injured, at least in that report. 26 is 13 plus 13. So 11 people dead. Townshend in reverse ordinal equals 121. 11 people dead. 121 happens to be square root of 121 is 11. 11 people dead. 121, a number of blood sacrifice as well. Blood sacrifice is a sacrifice for Pete Townshend. Blood sacrifice 121. So it happened on a day with 15 numerology. 12 plus 3 is 15. His full name equals 150. Peter Dennis Blandford Townshend. 150 is 15 in numerology. If you write out 15, it equals 38. Right? Also 34. The Who. 34. Right? Murder, death, killing. So it happened on the 199th day of his age. Right? 199 days. Why is that special? Because 189 is the 46th prime number. 46, a number of sacrifice. Sacrifice equals 46. Was this a sacrifice for Pete Townshend? The deaths happened at Riverfront Coliseum equals 107. Riverfront 64 like kill. Right? Like the reflection of 46. Ritual sacrifice 107. It's a common number we see. And 107, this happens to be the 28th prime number. 107 is 17 as well. Get to that in a second. And December 3rd is the 337th day. 28 days remain. And kill equals 28, right? And 17. Just like 107 is 17, 107 the 28th prime, kill. So 337 is the 68th prime. Caskets are buried 6 feet by 8 deep. So then I saw this story about how the families of the victims sued the band, concert promoter, Electric Factory Concerts in the city of Cincinnati. The class action suit filed on behalf of 10 of the families was settled in 1983. Notice 83, right? The Who 83, Murder 83, right? Settled in 1983. Murder by Numbers came out in 83 by the Police, right? That's what this is about. Murder by Numbers to advance the career of Pete Townshend as a sacrifice for him. And also, they got $150,000 each of the families. 150, like Pete Townshend's full name equals 150, like 15, like 38. Right, happened on a day with 15 numerology. Also 12, 1, 2, 3 is conspiracy. You write out conspiracy. I know we're not supposed to go there, but powerful people do get together and plan things. It just happens. Why wouldn't you? So that's what gematria will do for you. It'll give you eyes to see events that have happened in the past that you didn't know why they happened. You know? It's all about murder and the Who. Anyway, thanks for watching. My name is Dan for Numerical Lion. Have a great day, everybody.